Welcome back, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. My name is Pritesh with KAIZN Crypto. In this video, we're talking to the founding team for ADA Ninjaz. I've got Tommy and Zushan here joining us today to talk about ADA Ninjaz. They've got a game that they are building. They've got an NFT drop coming up, their token, the Ninjaz token. So I'm excited about this one. This is going to be lots of interesting content for you in this video today. So Tommy, Zushan, welcome to the channel. How are you both doing today?
I'm doing very well, mate. Thanks for having us on the show, Pritesh. I got to say, I love the name KAIZN Crypto. I think KAIZN is, continuous improvement is something we strive to implement every day. So thank you for choosing the right name for yourself.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, mate. Love what you do for the ecosystem, for the space. It's good to be here.
Awesome. Well, yeah, absolutely, guys. Thank you for the kind words. I think it's really cool. We've got ninjas and the KAIZN samurai, right? in this video today. I think it's going to be awesome. I wanted to go ahead and let you guys start off by giving a brief introduction for our audience. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. What got you started with ADA Ninjaz? We're going to get into some of the details regarding your white paper and your NFTs, but let's go ahead and get started with just a brief introduction.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk about what ADA Ninjaz is, and then Zushan can talk about how I guess we met and started the project. ADA Ninjaz at its core is a community-driven project, well, a multimedia entertainment company, where we like to introduce storytelling and community influence in everything that we do. So one example is we are creating IP around the universe of Nineveh and the three clans of Nineveh, the Arama clan, the Atsuko clan, and the Daisuke clan. We are developing a manga comic that we release every fortnight, 20 pages roughly every fortnight, and the community gets to actually vote on the core elements of the story and how it comes to be. We also do music. So it's also community-driven music where we get people to pick the genre, we get people to help us pick the beats that we create, and then also develop the lyrics as well. And more recently, we have the play-to-earn game, which includes the token release as well. I think we needed to introduce a real utility into the token once we made a release, and it was just fitting that the play-to-earn game is coming about because it's introducing the story into the game environment, which is an isometric 3D mini game arena where it's a hack and slash. You can go in as your ninja and fight for your clan. So at its core, that's the three products that we have. We do have smaller things that we do, but that's our core utility there.
Awesome.
Yeah, and in terms of a little bit about the team, Tommy and I live about 3 or 4 minutes walking from each other here in Canberra, Australia, which is our little old capital. And we met in a previous, we used to work together. And when we moved over to Canberra from Sydney for this job a few years ago now, I think almost 4 years ago, we were housed in the same accommodation. So that's where we first met. And, we used to hang out and talk about business ideas. And then I think at some point I introduced Tommy to the crypto world. And then eventually he introduced me to NFTs. And soon after we were like, what is something that we love, that we can do, that we would enjoy, and we think that it would resonate with other people in this space, because we've always been, entrepreneurial. So how do we go about it? And that's where ADA Ninjaz manifested from, I guess. And it's been a lot of fun because, we always talk about, imagine if you could take, let's go with Ichigo in Bleach, and you could decide what his story was and immerse yourself in the process of creating that manga in the earlier stages. That's what ADA Ninjaz is at its core. And that's where the idea came from.
Okay. Wow. All right. Was there any specific manga that was an inspiration to ADA Ninjaz, or was it just like a culmination of all these different ideas that you had kind of coming into one project?
I think it was a bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think at that time, Attack on Titan was what we were kind of going to in terms of theme, because we believed that the NFT community were a bit of either young adults or more mature in that regard. So we wanted to introduce a more of a bloody, darker themes, concepts to go around. But we took many concepts, right, from whether it's from Bleach, Death Note, Fate, all these different elements from different, even Naruto, and brought it together and said, what works in Naruto? The hidden leaf villages, right? How do we bring that into our space? In Fate, you have the servants, but how do you bring that into our world and make it special to us? So we're building IP around some of these core concepts, and yeah, it's fantastic to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember when we had a conversation. You guys were actually on the CNFT festival. That was great. We had a chat, and I got a chance to take a look at the artwork in your manga comic, and I was just like, "Wow, this is incredible." I wanted to ask you about that. What's the series that you have going on right now? Are there further iterations that are coming in the future? Tell us a little bit about your manga comic.
Yeah. So at the moment, we've got one under development and publishing as we speak, and one that's been completed. So far we've worked on our origin stories for each of the clans, how they came to be, where they're at the moment. So the RMR Origins Volume 1 is completely out, can be read on our website. We even have a physical version of it on sale, which is linked with an NFT link chip. And you can basically, once you receive that, you can also claim your NFT, which is like a certificate of originality. So I think there are like 30 copies of those left, only 110 or so available. That's something that we've been able to do, which has been fun. The Atsuko Origins are currently being published, again, readable on our website. But the key, we'll have the Daisuke Origins come out as well, but the key focus is our main story, or our core story, which is set in 2034, Adan, Eye of the Storm. And this is something that we're actually going to get the community to start working on with us very, very soon. And this is what we are already pitching to production houses and animation studios as a rough concept of what we would like to see on screen, essentially. And that's going to be our core story. And everything we've done so far is a buildup and side aspects that are important to fill in for Adan, Eye of the Storm.
It's a really cool use case that you had talked about, how you've implemented a little chip, right? I think it's a perfect utility for blockchain. And then this comic that you've created. So it's like provable ownership. You can authenticate that this is actually the limited edition that you've got. I actually think in terms of blockchain, that's probably one of the most fascinating use cases, is just supply chain, logistics, origin tracking, all that kind of stuff. I feel like you guys have really pulled that off with your comic. And, it's almost like if you think about baseball cards and tradable collectibles, it reminds me of that. But then you got that blockchain NFT aspect, which I think is really cool.
And we actually thought about that, right? Because with the actual physical manga that we ship out, it's plastic sealed, so you don't necessarily have to open it, right? But we've gone a step ahead, and we've done an extra chip at the front where, if you scan it, it takes you to an online reading experience of the manga with the special pages that we've done with background music. So, if you're a person that likes to collect, you don't have to open this. You keep it as is. And, hopefully in the future, because this is the first actual release of our comics, that it retains a value and becomes, quite sentimental in that regard.
Very cool. That's awesome. Now, the comic was like one of those starting off points for you guys. But then what you introduced to me today, so we're talking about a game. We're talking about more NFTs. You guys have a drop coming up here pretty soon. So tell us about that. What was the idea behind the game? I know we had talked about it briefly, but then just give us a little bit more as to some of the different aspects, like if we're doing play to earn, metaverse, any of those different concepts.
So Zushan and I, we have twice weekly stand-ups, and the conversation of short-term utility and long-term utility always comes up, right? And it's almost like a war room between us two, right? Because where one person's very focused in the long term, one person's like, no, we have to provide this short-term utility, right? And there was conversations about, should we do metaverse? Because everyone's like, you guys need to do metaverse, and then there was conversation about token, right? And then for us, it's about, okay, if we are going to do a token, we have to do it right. And how do we make sure that we're introducing short-term utility with this token, and then it just led to a game, right? Because we're like, okay, this is massive utility. This is how we bring people to interact with our community in the short term. That's why we've been committed to releasing an alpha in the next couple of weeks, right? Because it's before we even introduce the tokenomics into the game. Let's build a game that's fun to play first, that's actually fair to play, et cetera, and balanced, and then we introduce the economy side of things. So it took us some time to get to this point, from legal requirements to actually saying, is this what we want to do in terms of our vision? But we believe that this is just the evolution of our ecosystem, and we hope that the game will tie everything that we do into this one environment that people can socialize and play in a sense.
Okay. No, I love that. I think that in terms of utility, right, you've got the NFTs. So that would be almost like your playable character in the game, right? You've got the utility of the in-game economy with the Ninjaz token. One question that I did have was, there was a few different clans. So you had mentioned that there are like 3 different clans for the different NFT seasons. Could you tell us a little bit more about the differences between those, and what is it as far as the time frame that you're looking at in terms of if there's going to be 3 different drops, if they're all going to be dropped at the same time? Just a little bit more information on the different clans.
Yeah. So we got 3 clans: the Aramar, the Atsuko, the Daisuke. Aramar was season 1, and that dropped in October. So that sold out back then. I'll tell you a little bit about the clans afterwards. And then we had the Atsuko clan, which was season 2. So that dropped in February. And then the Daisuke clan is season 3, which comes out on the 21st of May. And each of these clans are, one of the 3 clans within the world of Nineveh in ADA Ninjaz. And they've all basically gotten access to a sort of mineral, an ore, and this ore was fused into a katana that's been split into 3 parts. And each of these clans holds one of those and utilizes the power of that part of the katana to build their powers, essentially. So the Aramar clan are the guardians, sort of the protectors. They work with the government of Nineveh. They strive for leadership, that sort of thing. They're season 1, and they're very aligned with technology. So their weapons are all sort of tech-based, that kind of thing. And I think that's Tommy's clan. He's the team representative of the Aramar. The Atsuko are the second clan. They're the outlaws, the sort of underbelly. They focus on sort of dark magic, black magic, working with spirits, that kind of thing. They're there to sort of oust the Aramar. There's no good or bad, right? It's all black and white, as it is none of it is black and white. It's rather all gray, as it is in the real world. So it's almost like you can think of it, if you add something a bit more philosophical or deep into this. It's from a Marxist theory standpoint, it's sort of like the bourgeoisie and the proletariat, and they're battling it out for their different ideologies. And then the Atsuko clan representative in our leadership team is EJ, so shout out to him. And the third clan is the Daisuke, who are the nomads. They have utilized the ore, or the katana, which we call Hoskinanium. That's what it's called. And they use the Hoscananium powers to basically work with flora and fauna. So they're the environmentalists. They're not interested in the political side of things, but they're more focused on, working with nature, working with animals. All their weapons are sort of based off shamanistic elements, and they're very tribal. So it's like very much like a collectivist approach to things. And that is my clan. So that's a little bit about all three clans. And if you look at the NFT launches, each of them are significantly different in terms of the art styles. Season 1, shonen, Japanese art style, vector art. Season 2, sort of more seinen, mature art style, brush strokes, that kind of thing. And then the Daisuke, a mix of both, and fully animated NFTs, music as well. So they represent each of the clans, but then we're also pushing on the art style front. So there's a little bit. I know it's a lot of information, but we'd love to know, Pritesh, later on which clan you end up picking, because you can go in our Discord and pick a clan, and I'd just be curious to see which one you pick.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got to jump in there and check that out. It's really cool just to get an overview of what they all mean. But yeah, I'll definitely be sure to let you know. Now, in terms of the roadmap, because you had talked about there is a drop coming up pretty soon. So what clan is going to be dropping? And then in terms of the roadmap, where are we in terms of actually being able to use some of these NFTs in the game?
Yeah, so we 21st of May, 8 p.m. UTC is the mint time for season 3, which is the Daisuke clan, Zushan's clan. We're pushing the boundaries of this. It's a big collection. You get three files, one being the still HD version, a PNG of the NFT. Then you get a GIF, which you can actually share around more easily with the community because it's actually animated. Plus, you get an MP4, which has a music stem with it as well. So I think all in all, the entire collection is about 1.2 terabytes of data that we're actually sharing with the world. Yes, it took us a long time to get to upload, to generate, and then obviously now into on chain. So yeah, we're pushing the boundaries very hard on this. In terms of the roadmap, we have so many different verticals, right? I think, let's say, for example, music, we're actually doing the Atsuko clan theme song at the moment, where we've just given the community 3 different style of beats, and they've had to vote on which one they think is the more Atsuko, right? So once that's done, now it's actually creating the entire beat, finding the artists who are, in terms of for that theme, picking. So the Atsuko have chosen hip hop, right, as their core theme. Now we're finding hip hop artists or those influencers to come through and support us in developing that. That's one thing. So that will continue, right? Because then we'll do the Daisuke clan coming for after that. We have the Forgotten Spirit theme song to come as well, and then obviously by the end of it, we'll hopefully have about 10 tracks to go through that are community driven. The manga, like Zushan said, we're just about halfway through the Atsuko origins. We will do that Daisuke coming up, and then the most important one is the core story of the protagonist Adan. That's going to be into 2023, and we think that Adan's going to fill up that big year because it's such a big and important story for us to tell in that visual form. We will tell that story earlier in written form because we need to get it, I guess, done a bit earlier because we want to showcase it to production companies. But that's something that is a work in progress for us. With the game, working alpha is done. You actually get to connect your Nami wallet, and it will read if you hold an NFT because we're testing the infrastructure. So we're testing the Nami login. Now we're testing, okay, can it read the data and showcase the skin? So if you hold an NFT, you will get a special skin. At the moment, it's a shared skin with all because we're testing it. But in the future, definitely there will be unique perks that come through. The Atsuko clan, for example, as a special utility just for that clan, they will be able to claim mystery loot boxes once every period. So that's still to be decided, but that's a unique clan we're giving them. In regards to how we scale that game, it's going to be PvE first, and then we introduce PvP, which is, well, the multiplayer environment. Once that's balanced out, we introduce tournaments that's more competitive gameplay, social spaces, because now if we can have 2 people in the room, let's have 5, let's have 10, right? So introduce that mini metaverse once we do that scaling. Not going to be building a game engine, but we'll allow people to actually build their own mini games, similar to how Minecraft and Roblox kind of do that environment, because we want to appeal to as many people as possible, whether you're a casual gamer, you're a tinkerer, or you're someone that wants to compete competitively. But we're doing it very strategically and intentionally with how we scale, to make sure that we're doing it right at each step.
Okay, I gotcha. I think it's really awesome that you guys have an alpha that's pretty much ready to go. And also, so you have the ability for a user to connect their wallet, right? If they hold the NFT, they'll be able to see it. Now, I guess in terms of being able to collect feedback and data from the community, would it also be possible for anybody who, let's say, maybe they're watching this video, they haven't heard about the project before, are they going to have the ability as well to also jump into the alpha, test it out, give you guys feedback?
Yep.
Yeah.
So all you really need is a Nami wallet, and the plugin for your browser, and you can go in, connect, and you'll be able to play the game. We're keeping it as simple as that to let everyone get an opportunity to come in and see what ADA Ninjaz is about and what the game, The Shards of Nineveh, is about. And we look forward to each and everybody's feedback on that as well.
All right, that's perfect.
I wanted to extend on that because, we made a decision early on that it has to be a Cardano wallet connection to login. We want to make it free to play, but we also want adoption to come through. And this is how we onboard new people to say, okay, if there's this game that's going around, but you need to at least set up an Nami wallet, right? If we can get them to just get to that first step, I think the barrier to entry will be much easier, rather than saying, going through the whole process of connecting a Coinbase, sending ADA, sending whatever it is to the Nami wallet, and then starting to play the game. So we'll continue to educate as more adoption comes through, and I guess the infrastructure starts to mature a bit.
Yep, really important. I think a lot of people, at least from what I've heard, right, they're a little bit discouraged with the current markets and the prices, but seeing other fun things being built like these games, there's just a whole bunch of different things that you can do within the ecosystem, other than just watching the daily price fluctuations. I think with this also, you've got a really cool idea, you've got a great niche, and I'm sure there's a huge audience for this type of game. So it's going to be exciting, just to see all the different moving pieces come together.
Yeah, we're super pumped. I think we're, we've been itching to sort of get this information out, and we dropped it earlier this week on Monday, and people have been super hyped. And just so everyone watching knows, we're even more hyped than any of you are. Like, we've been working so hard to make this happen, and now that we're getting closer and closer to it, I'm just kind of like, like we're trialing out the game or talking about aspects of the game, and I go, can we just give this to everybody tomorrow? But we have to stop, and just think we're almost there. If we've held on to it for so long, we can wait a little bit more.
The hardest part is actually understanding that we have to keep things at small scale first, right? Because every time we have a game meeting, it's like, let's do this, let's do that, let's implement this. Like, our minds just go crazy of the potential, right? Because we see so much potential in how this game can develop. But from a developer standpoint, it's like, you have to scale your solutions, making sure the backend is secure, making sure everything's done in the right manner, and you don't want to stretch yourself too thin and overpromise. That's why we ensure that our phase structure is very clear, in that this is the core, I guess, concept that comes through each phase. And unless we finish, I guess, and successfully deliver the phase prior, we won't work on the next phase. But yeah, it's always a work in progress, and I'm happy to see where we are, where we've got to just with a working alpha.
Yeah, that's very true. I know it's I think it's better to go with a very focused set of parameters, right? And then just kind of build on top of that. It really does help in terms of when you do get to that point where you've got like thousands or hopefully millions of people playing this game, right? I mean, who knows? It's going to make it that much easier because you've got those foundations in place. Speaking of that, just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on what are some of the goals that you have for this project. Maybe looking out a few years down the line, you guys have built a great community. You've got players who are enjoying the art, the game, the NFTs, everything associated with the project. What are some of the milestones that you would hope to achieve with this?
Yeah, and that's a good question, Pritesh, because very early on at the start of the year, we rebranded from being an NFT project to a multimedia entertainment business. So NFTs are one aspect of what we now do. And one of our biggest pushes, or rather focuses, has been to bring more people into what we are doing outside of the Web3 space as well. And that's why we've got the music front, a lot of push on that side of things. With the manga comics, we're really pushing out to try and reach out to people who don't necessarily know about the NFT space or the crypto space. Maybe they don't even need to know about it, while rewarding our community and the holders of our NFTs and creating an ecosystem in that manner. So our goal long-term has always been to create this animated series, right? Which is why we work, we have created pages and pages of lore and IP. And, hence we have a wiki now, which you can also go and read. And that's got different aspects of information about what's happening in the world of Ada Ninjas, what each thing means, and so on and so forth. So IP is super important to us, because down the road, as we have these conversations with production houses and animation studios and so on, even when a deal gets signed and something's ready to go, and we're hopeful and confident of that, it's still going to take a while for this to get onto TV. Because one, this stuff doesn't come cheap. Two, it takes a lot of time to make. So, by the time that's coming out, it will have been a couple of years. And that's the goal for us. And on top of that, we eventually, in a space like this, you want to look at selling merchandise of the characters, bringing more people on board. And, in an ideal world, once the blockchain is more mature, we could do more of that linking of, NFT chips via like NFT link to the merchandise, have those certificates of originality as NFTs, because that's where this space is going to move to anyway. Right. So that's the long-term goal. And Tommy, feel free to chime in or add in.
Yeah, ultimately, it's just building IP, right? You build strong enough IP that a lot of people, whether it's a community or businesses, can leverage to just showcase the world that we're building, right? Whether it's a merchandise, whether it's actually fan fiction, whether it's actually different arcs or stories. We want to, and we always talk about, for example, Harry Potter, as an evergreen product, right? They, the novels come out. Now it's kind of, movies have come out. There's different alternative, I guess, universes, stories that have been told within Harry Potter, and it's a continuing thing to build, right? Because it's such a prominent, I guess, idea in our community. So that's our ultimate goal. Of course, we want to deliver animation, because that's what we said in our roadmap, and it is our vision. But ultimately, it's just bringing communities together, right? The three clans, we want people to be dressing up as their clans, whether it's bomber jackets or just hats, right? And then going to convention centers and just talking to each other and connecting, because hey, you're a fan of Ada Ninjas, or the story of Nineveh. Let's connect and talk about things.
And
Wow.
speaking of convention, going to like comic conventions, I could drop some alpha here. We will be at a couple of comic conventions in the next 2 months in Australia. So that'll be the first time that we'll physically be taking ADA Ninjas outside of the Web3 space, and, you know, promoting some of the stuff that we do. So that's going to be a very fascinating experience to see how people who have no idea of, you know, this world take what we've built in terms of IP and story.
Fantastic. Yeah. Are you guys going to actually head over to any of the Cardano events this year, like the CNFT Con or the Rare Bloom, anything like that?
So CNFT Con, we've got a booth. We are going to fly over. Wouldn't miss it. And I know
Nice.
that Rare Bloom is soon after, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They're like back to back.
So we're looking into how long we can stay, but we're going to figure it out and try to do both. But CNFT Con, we're in the works. We're coming up with an idea, or we've come up with an idea that we now need to implement, which I don't think anyone else is doing in this space. And yeah, I won't say what it is, but where I got inspired, where we got inspired from the idea, was I was in Dubai recently, and I went to the Dubai Expo over there, and I saw something that, you know, fits really well with what we're doing. So we're hoping to bring that in, and that's definitely going to create a bit of a buzz at CNFT Con. So will you be there?
I sure will. Yep. I can't wait to see you guys there. I think that what you guys were talking about with just like the IP, right? You create merchandise, all these cool things to build a community. And then what you're doing with NFT Link as well, you know, you've got that actual blockchain aspect of it. It's going to be awesome to see you guys there.
Can't wait to see
Likewise,
everyone. Yeah, we've
It'll
had
be
so many
so
chats
good.
with both community members, but also devs in the space, right? It's such a close-knit community, and I love what Cardano is doing. I do want to mention, you know, even though the sentiment is quite poor, I said this to Elisa just recently at CNFT News, that the market sentiment is poor, but the Cardano community is still thriving. You know, the people are still staying. They still believe in the ecosystem. You know, they still believe in projects as well. And you know, it's night and day with what's happening in our space compared to, let's say, for example, Ethereum, right? You know, there are really big projects in Ethereum that aren't even setting out their second collections, right? Whereas here it's like we're pushing for a third collection, and we can see already that we will, you know, most likely sell out, right? So that's the community speaking to us, is saying that they still believe in the ecosystem, and so we're very grateful for what the community have built in this space.
Yep, absolutely. And I wanted to ask, as far as, because, you know, I definitely want to get a hold of some of these NFTs, and then hopefully I can jump into that drop that you guys have coming up on the 21st. For anybody who does hold these ADA Ninjas, is there any added benefit as it comes to any further drops that you guys have coming up, as far as where they can go to, like, let's say if you are watching this, you haven't heard about the project, but you still want to get a hold of Series 1 and Series 2. What marketplaces do you guys recommend? I did see in the Git book as well, you guys are actually partnered with NFT Maker. So that's really cool. I know that they've got a few different things, like their NFT minting platform. They even got a marketplace that they're working on. So is that going to be incorporated in your game as well? Where are some of the places that people should go to if they want to pick up some of those NFTs?
Yeah, I'll run you through a bit about the NFTs, and then Tommy, I'll let you take over on the partnership side with NFT Maker and everyone else. But yeah, you can just head on over to JPEG store, jpg.store. You know, you type in ADA Ninjas, a whole bunch of stuff will pop up, but it's RMR and Atsuko. So season 1 and season 2, you can go in and you can buy a ninja. The perks of having these ninjas for season 3, first up, is if you hold, for each ninja you hold, you get a percentage discount in the sale on the 21st. So if you hold 5 ninjas, you get 5% off. If you hold 20 ninjas, you get 20% off, capped at 20%. If you hold 15 of either clan, so 15 of season 1, you get 1 free season 3. If you hold 15 of season 2, you get one free season 3. So that's how, you know, we
Wow.
manage that. If you hold 50 ninjas or 60 ninjas, you get 20% off, but then you also get a bunch for free. So, you know, our huge whale supporters are also happy that way. And otherwise, in terms of perks, you know, we've got two sides of it. We've got the existing utilities of each clan, which is focused around voting on the story and governance voting. So the RMR gives you 2x governance voting. The Atsuko gives you 2x sort of world creation voting, and so on. And then we've got the upcoming utilities with the token and the game. So on the game, each clan will receive, first off, an airdrop of the Ninjaz token. So if you hold the NFTs, you don't have to do anything. You will receive a one-time airdrop as a thank you from us. However, following that, you'll be able to continue to claim Ninjaz token. Reason being that via claiming, we reward the people who are active. And secondly, the Ninjaz token doesn't end up in dead wallets or wallets that people have lost their seed phrases to. And you're also going to be able to stake each of the NFTs to receive Ninjaz token. So all clans can do that. However, to make it fun, we've said you will receive a varying reward depending on which clan you hold and which clan's NFTs you have. And that ties in with our story. So the RMR, like I told you earlier, Pritesh, very much about, you know, the elite clan, the Guardians, so they get the largest airdrop and claim of token, fits in with their story. The Daisuke get the lowest, but the Daisuke, because they're community-based, stake your NFTs or collect your resources and you receive token, the highest amount of token in return for that. The Atsuko are in the middle for both categories. And however, the Atsuko have a utility, which is when launched within the game, they'll be able to claim a loot box over a period of time for like free of cost, just having to pay dust. And that ties in with the fact that they're sort of like the thieves, kind of the Yakuza-ish clan. So they're going and they're looting to get, you know, rewards. So that's a little bit about the clan utilities and what's happening. In terms of the partnership, Tommy, I'll let you run with that.
Yeah, NFT Maker, we are very grateful to have them on the team, right? Because, you know, as a core partner, they're a pioneer in the space. They are always leading in terms of development, right? So, for example, when we spoke to them about this discount, in terms of, you know, can we provide a discount to our holders? They said, we don't have a solution at the moment, but we can make it happen for you, for the mint. So they've created custom solutions for us for each minting process. So we're very grateful for that. In terms of a connection of, you know, the marketplace to the game, it's a very easy discussion, right? Because it's like, why do we need to allocate funds ourselves to create our own marketplace when we have existing marketplaces that we can leverage, right? And what we plan on doing, because they are still a core partner to us, is that all the buying and selling will occur on the NFT Maker marketplace, but it will be mirrored in our game. So it'll be a live mirroring of everything that's happening. So you can either buy the items in game or buy it on the marketplace. So that's something that we hope to achieve, because, you know, if we can make that happen, then it just becomes an easier process to onboard more games, right? Rather than, you know, because the last thing you want is every single game is creating their own marketplace, because that's not a effective solution, or you can say, or funds for the ecosystem.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think instead of reinventing the wheel, there are already so many great solutions that we have available. I think in terms of building a game, I'm kind of in that same boat. You know, I can completely agree with you. I think it's better spent time, capital, resources to focus on an actual game that's fun to play. So I completely agree with what you said there. But it's exciting because I do agree. I think NFT Maker, one of the biggest innovators in the space, actually. I think just recently they crossed a huge milestone, like over 1 million NFTs minted on their platform. So that's really exciting to see. As far as
we don't give them enough credit, right? Because they're trying to do a lot of things because they're a core infrastructure in the ecosystem. So you know, whatever support we can give them, yeah, we're happy to provide that support as well.
Definitely nice to see that. So now with the things that we talked about coming up here today, guys, so where should our audience go? I know you guys have a few links for us, which I am going to be sure to leave in the description. But as far as your community and, you know, people getting up to speed on both the drop, the game, you know, the manga series, all the kind of stuff that we talked about, where should they go? And then also, where should people go to follow you two? Because I know you guys are also very active with the development of this project. So if they wanted to catch up with you guys, also best place to go for that.
This is your turn, mate, Zushan. You got this.
Yeah, look, you can just head over to adaninjaz.com. That's probably the easiest way to find us. All our links are on there. You can go on Twitter. It's also Ada Ninjaz. Discord, if you put in Ada Ninjaz, pretty simple, but the website has everything. So that's probably the best place to head to. And then you can join us on Discord, Twitter, and so on. You can always get into Discord and find me or Tommy and hit us up. We're also both on Twitter. My handle's just at Zushan Hashmi. So it's pretty easy. It's just my full name. Tommy, what's your Twitter handle, mate?
I think it's TB_blades. Might need to change that.
Maybe something like
blades.
Maybe like some Ada Ninjaz action going on in the Twitter handles, right?
Yeah. Well, look, I think Discord is by far the best place to come and hang, right? You know, you can go straight into the Ninjas chat, pick a clan, start bantering straight away, and just talking to people. We know that there's a lot that we're doing. You know, so we created a thematic roadmap of the ecosystem to show people, but it is still confusing, especially when you come in and you're like, okay, there's like 5-6 different verticals that these guys are working on. Where do I even start? Like, it can feel very overwhelming, but yeah, Discord, have a chat, and then slowly build into that learning.
I gotcha. All right. Well, guys, I will be sure to leave the links for the Discord, the Twitter, which you guys had mentioned, also your personal social. So if anybody wants to reach out directly, great chat. And I learned a lot. You know, I'm looking forward to the drop on May 21st. Kind of crazy, right? Like in a couple days from us recording this video. Hope to have it out so that we can at least share this information to our audience and the community so that they know everything that's happening in the next couple of days. But guys, I wanted to leave the floor open up to you. Any last minute thoughts about what we talked about today? Anything that you wanted to leave for our audience for our conversation?
I just wanted to say, Pritesh, you're doing incredible work for the space. We really appreciate the time here with the interview, and yeah, we'd love to see. Well, we hope to see big things coming from you, mate. It's fantastic that we as an ecosystem are always continuing to improve.
Oh, it means a lot, Tommy. Thank you.
Yeah, likewise. Just resonating with like I guess adding to that, like I think I think you bring great value to everything in this space. And I think it's important to have people like yourself growing what we're doing, right? So just thanks for having us on, mate. And I just want to see what clan you join. That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, that means the world, guys. I can't wait. I think I might be a little bit biased after this latest drop, but we'll see. But I'll let you guys know for sure. I'll jump in the Discord and we'll chat it up for sure.
Awesome, mate. Thanks a lot for having us. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you very
much.
No
worries. Awesome, guys. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Zushan, Tommy, always a pleasure, guys. Would love to have you on the channel again. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. If you all did enjoy it, make sure you drop a like for us on this video. Be sure to check out the links down below. Give them a follow. Check them out on Discord and on social media. And we will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.